Okay, we're here with Rabbitohs High Performance Manager Troy Thomson for a bit of an injury update on some of the players. Tomo, can you give us an idea of what's going on with Nathan Merritt?
Yeah, unfortunately Nathan's sustained a very rare injury. He's got a bone in his foot here, which we all have, but Nathan's quite unique in that bone's in two pieces. So he's got a little bit of cartilage between those two little bones, and he's just disrupted that cartilage. So it's very difficult to rehab that because it's quite painful because the tendon that runs over that bone there. So obviously with his explosive speed, he uses that quite a lot. So every time he goes to push off, he's getting pain through there. We've spoken to a lot of people about things that we can do to help this. And we've tried a few interventions as well. So he's just a week-by-week proposition at the moment, and we'll try and get him back as quick as we can. Obviously, he's very important to the team.
So with the nature of the injury, we can't really put a time frame on it, can we? As you say, it is week to week.
Yeah, it's very difficult. We spoke to people in the AFL and the NFL, and both of them have recommended rest as probably the best way to go. So it is a very difficult injury to put a time frame on. We just need to try and get him out there as quick as we can.
So is he doing any sort of rehab work on it at the moment, or is he just completely off his feet?
We've tried a few different things. He's just come off another rest period, so we've rested him for a couple of weeks, and we're going to start running him again this week. We've been really fortunate to have an AlterG treadmill, which is space age technology, which actually unloads the guys quite well, and he's able to run on that at the moment. So part of his rehab at the moment is doing that. He started catching a few footies again, and we're trying to get his skills up as well.
Okay, the next one to speak about is James Roberts. We haven't seen him this year. Obviously, he's a young player and you want to look after him with his knee troubles that he's got. Yeah,
that's right. James, again, when I came to the club, was told that he had quite another rare injury with his knee. We decided to operate on that one prior to Christmas. So James is now quite far down the track in terms of his rehab. We've been monitoring him through MRI scans, and his latest one, which he had on Monday, has showed some good signs. So what we'll try and do now is start to build his load up. He needs to complete all the training, so he needs to do all of his wrestling, his change of direction, his acceleration, decelerations, and obviously jump in with the team and work out what's going on skills-wise, so he can fit in there nicely.
Can we put any sort of time frame on his return at this stage?
Yeah, again, we'll be guided a little bit by pain with him, but you know, from my experience and his age, you should be looking around the 4-week mark in terms of being able to get him up to speed in terms of everything that he needs to do there.
And at the moment, we've got 2/3 of the Burgess clan on the sidelines. We'll talk about Sam first, obviously hurting his medial ligament on the weekend. Can you talk us through that and how that works?
Yeah, unfortunately for Sam, he was caught in quite an unusual position there. He wasn't aware what was happening. Obviously, I saw he was looking away, and the players obviously falling on him. So there's not much you could have done about that one, and unfortunately we had the worst case scenario there with a grade 3 rupture, so that ligament's totally torn. Again, no surgical interventions needed there. What they do is we just let that rest. It forms up a scar, and then what we'll do is once he's rested there, again we'll start progressing him through. We've been told by the surgeons and specialists that we're looking at a 6 to 8 week sort of time frame there, so that's probably around 12. So hopefully we can get him up and running for there.
And Luke Burgess broke his foot. Is that a similar injury and position on the foot as Ben Lowe had last year?
Yeah, exactly the same injury as Ben Lowe. He's gone in and had that fixated, so they've put a screw into that bone. Hopefully, unfortunately, Benny was a little bit rare in terms of, you know, he had a refracture when he came back. So touch wood, that doesn't happen with Luke, and we're able to get him back. But he had exactly the same operation with that fixation there in the bone. He's been told that he's allowed to get off the crutches now and out of the moon boot, so he's walking around now, and again we'll start building up his load very gradually. Again, like any broken bone, we have to be a little bit careful there so that it doesn't re-injure. He's a couple of weeks of just walking around, then we'll start building his load up, start getting him to run, and he'll go through the same processes in terms of getting back with the team.
So it's quite an extensive injuries we found with Ben Lowe. He's probably not looking to a return till probably the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's right. I think, you know, given the history that we've had with a previous player, we certainly want to err on the side of caution. I know the coach will be pushing me to get him back as quickly as possible, so there'll be a few little fights here in terms of when he's available and that. But we'll make sure we do the right thing by the club and by Luke himself.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks for the update, and hopefully we don't have to update too many more injuries with you.
That's right. Thanks, Jez. Thanks, boys.